The Ukrainian truck was fleeing from a Russian FPV drone. However, realizing he couldn't go any further, the driver got out of the car and tried to escape. What happened, happened. One of the thermal power plants in Kiev was completely destroyed in a missile attack carried out at night. In another incident, a Russian KVN drone destroyed another Ukrainian vehicle. Sumy direction. The Russian drone waited in standby mode for a long time. The operator never took his eyes off the monitor. Finally, an enemy vehicle arrived and the drone's propellers started up instantly.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe and like.
This is a shelter for Ukrainian forces. Here are two Ukrainian soldiers trying to reach their shelter. This is the Krasnoarmysk direction. The FPV drone operator spotted the two soldiers thanks to advanced thermal cameras. Subsequently, the shelters were destroyed in successive attacks. An old-style motorcycle belonging to Ukrainian forces personnel was discovered. Then an FPV drone destroyed it with a single strike. In Kharkiv, a Russian drone operator shot down a Ukrainian ATV vehicle with his low-battery drone. The drone's battery is about to die. An FPV drone lands on a dry boat on the Dnieper River in the Kherson region. The boat has been removed from the map. Russian VT-40 drones carried out numerous attacks in the direction of Konstantinovka. Drone operators waiting in standby mode suddenly activate the drone and fly it at high speed when they spot the enemy. Escaping a drone flying at this speed is almost impossible. Perhaps a tree or something else could slow down the drone's speed. These Russian drones are heavily loaded with explosives and cause significant damage upon detonation. These FPV drones can make sudden maneuvers like flies, and it's really hard to predict what the drone will do in advance. In the same direction, Russian drone operators destroyed a dozen Ukrainian tanks with a dozen attacks. After destroying the tanks, the Russian drone located their ammunition and destroyed that as well. Then, an armored vehicle that came to rescue the tank crew was also destroyed by the drone. Additional footage of the destruction of the two S-22 Bodana self-propelled gun mounted on an 8A8 Tatra T-158 chassis in the Magdalenovka area of the Zaporizhia region. The self-propelled gun crew attempted to respond by extinguishing the burning shelter, but were unsuccessful. Following successive drone attacks, the self-propelled howitzer was wiped off the map. Ukrainian forces were detected by Russian reconnaissance UAVs while supplying ammunition to the UAV control center. The coordinates of the position were calculated precisely. Russian artillery and drone operators then moved in and destroyed the ammunition depot and UAV control building. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. The UAV unit of the 41st Separate Airborne Brigade, affiliated with the 44th Army Corps, detected and destroyed a camouflaged Ukrainian armed forces wheeled gun in a forested area in the Kharkiv region using an FPV drone via fiber optics. A Russian FPV drone spotted a soldier hiding inside a ruined building in the Pokrovsk direction and immediately flew into the building. Then, the FPV drone caught an ATV vehicle in the same direction. 3 Ukrainian soldiers encountered a Russian drone in an open area. Soldiers from the 238th Artillery Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces destroyed Ukrainian Armed Forces shelters near the village of Ivanopilya, with precision strikes using 152mm Krasnopol M2 guided missiles. Russian soldiers shot down Ukraine's FPV drone seconds before the collision. The tense moments were captured on a helmet camera.
Нормально, командир?
Бля, нормально.
Надо уходить отсюда.
Нормально, нормально. Самура. Уходим.
Уходим.
Нормально. Так, слегка глушануло, ебать.
Images from the Sumy region, where Russian troops continue to advance. A bunker hidden underground was detected. Then the Russian attack drone moved in and hit the door of the bunker. Then a fire broke out. In the same forest belt, a weapon, probably belonging to the same crew, was found and destroyed. I couldn't tell exactly what kind of weapon it was because it was camouflaged. Any thoughts? While the attacks continued in the same direction, another underground bunker was found and hit. Drone operators of the 3rd Combined Arms Army of the Southern Troop Group destroyed UAV control points of the Ukrainian armed forces in the forest belt with accurate strikes. Manpower was also hit. A position of the Ukrainian armed forces was detected near the same direction. The Russian artillery opened successive fire on this position in the forest belt and destroyed it. A Russian FPV drone destroyed a robotic platform of the Ukrainian armed forces carrying ammunition near the settlement of Rygorodka. This robot carries ammunition for the MLRS and also transports food. Fabi 500 from UMPK strikes Ukrainian position. In the Krasnolimanska direction, the BTR-3 used by the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed as a result of a hit by a Russian fiber optic drone. The armored vehicle appears to have been abandoned. The Ukrainian armed forces decided to use houses and buildings in a settlement as temporary deployment points, but Russian kamikaze drones, aircraft-type drones, destroyed all the positions one by one with hard strikes. With the explosion of powerful ammunition on the drones, huge fires broke out in the houses and every house was destroyed. The temporary deployment point of the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed when a Russian fiber optic drone landed hard. Artillery of the 5th Guards. All-volunteer army of the Vostok Group destroyed a camouflage towed artillery gun in the vicinity of Zagornoye and Chervonoye. Then it destroyed the UAV control center of the Ukrainian armed forces. Troops of the 36th Combined Arms Army west of Bogatyr have uncovered a Ukrainian UAV control point. First, a helicopter-type Baba Yaga drone was shot down. Then the UAV control point was attacked. Another armored vehicle that came to the rescue of the attacked control center was also attacked and destroyed. The moment of the fall of the KAB-1500L high-destruction laser-guided aerial bomb developed by Russia was captured on the camera of an infantryman of the Ukrainian armed forces. The bomb fell nearby while the vehicle was in motion, causing great panic. Konstantinovsky direction. During the night, Russian VT-40 drone operators hit armored vehicles and pickup trucks of the Ukrainian armed forces. Many vehicles of the armed forces of Ukraine moving in this direction were either completely wrecked or badly damaged beyond use. This slowed down the movement of infantry in this direction. Two servicemen of the Russian armed forces opened rifle fire from close range at a bunker where infantrymen of the armed forces of Ukraine were located. At the same time, they threw grenade-like explosives inside. Meanwhile, the Russian soldiers called on the soldiers in the bunker to surrender. If they surrendered, they would not harm them and would evacuate them safely. Some soldiers accepted this offer, others refused. What do you think could be the reason for their refusal? Write your opinion in the comments. The Ukrainian soldiers in this video chose to surrender. On the borders of the Dnipropetrovsk region, Russian VT-40 drone operators struck pickups and armored personnel carriers of the armed forces of Ukraine one by one during the night. These vehicles, which were carrying infantry and delivering various supplies to positions at night, were destroyed as a result of Russian drone strikes. During the day, it may be possible to spot the drones and avoid them or shoot them down. But at night, it is the opposite. You can't see them and you can't shoot them. New images of armored vehicles destroyed by reconnaissance units of the 44th Corps advancing from the Kursk region to the Sumy region. The Russian army is advancing in the Sumy region, hitting Ukrainian tanks and defense lines. Soldiers of the 44th Corps destroy NATO howitzers, BMPs, APCs, and other equipment with the fiber optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod, destroying bunkers and mortar positions. One of Ukraine's most expensive tanks, the T-72M1, was scrapped after successive attacks by Russian fiber optic drones Prince Vandal of Novgorod. A few weeks later, the T-72M1 tank appears again in the drone's camera. It is now burnt out and almost destroyed. In the Konstantinovka area, the Russian Air Force struck Ukrainian positions with FAB bombs. The footage shows the destruction of Ukrainian troop installations in Stepnohursk in the Zaporizhzhia region by FAB 1,500 bombs. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. The movement of a Ukrainian soldier in Bogatyr was detected. Haribi was hiding in the houses. When he came out, he was attacked. Then a FPV drone carried out the final attack. Near the village of Dilievka, not far from Toretsk, Ukrainian UAV control points and positions were destroyed by the FAB 500. No location given. The epic explosion of the Ukrainian Armed Forces ammunition depot. In the Kharkiv region, the British howitzer L-119 was carefully hidden in a private house. No matter how much Ukrainian soldiers camouflaged it, a Russian reconnaissance drone revealed the position. It was then blown up by Russian Lancet and FPV drones. The position was destroyed. The Ukrainian Armed Forces pickup Kamayon was detected trying to cross the Russian state border. Russian paratroopers prevented Ukrainian soldiers from leaving Bilopilya. Sumy region. The Ukrainian Armed Forces were spotted at night, driving a Canadian-made Rochelle Senator armored vehicle. A hard blow was struck in the front part of the armored vehicle. The personnel quickly left the vehicle. In the daytime, another Russian attack drone arrived and finished off the armored vehicle. Sumy direction. Marines of the 117th Independent Guards Marine Regiment are destroying positions and equipment of the armed forces of Ukraine with drone strikes in the village of Myropilya. The settlement is no more than 3 kilometers from Russia.